Cool. Craig, New York Giants.
All right, let's mute. Oh man. Hmm. Okay, Joe Judge as the coach, man. Like I'm really not sold on Joe Judge as the head coach. Um, I give him. I mean, obviously he was 6-10 last year. They started out really rough, and then they brought it back, or he brought it back, helped lead the team back. And with all that being said, like I'm still just not sold on him as the head coach. I think after this season, if they're not really is any big time improvement, because that offense, as far as just weapons around Daniel Jones, it should be much improved, and it's just going to be up to how if they can keep him healthy, I guess, and get Saquon going. But he's just not really like he's tries to put on this tough guy act, but I'm just not buying it as a head coach. So I'm just gonna just wait and see what he can what his team does this season. Second season, if everybody stays healthy, they have weapons around Daniel Jones, and I just want to see exactly what happens. And then you're playing in a weak division, the weakest division in football. So just gonna have to see exactly what he can produce this upcoming season. Daniel Jones, man, like man, it's just rough. Like he's had a rough go. Like I don't really put it all on him. I think he's had to go through coaching changes, and then you have the offensive line that's been really terrible, and they didn't really address that in the draft like I thought they were going to. I thought they had a chance to take Slater, they didn't take him. They had a chance to take Darius Shaw, they didn't take him. Instead they take Tony out of Florida, the wide receiver. And I didn't think they needed him because they had previously signed Galladay. They still had Shepard. They still have Slater. What's his name?
Darius Slayton, yeah.
Darius Slayton. And they also have Ingram. They went out and signed Kyle Rudolph. Like I just didn't think there was a place for. And they got Ross from Cincinnati. I didn't really think there was a place for another wide receiver on the team when your line is just banged up. Like I think he got sacked 50 or yeah, he got sacked 50 times last year. Third worst in the league. Like you have to protect your quarterback. And you had a chance to take two left tackles instead. You trade out, and then you're right there to take Darius Shaw, and you just take a wide receiver. So I'm just not a believer in this team. I don't know if Daniel Jones is going to last the whole season just because I think he's going to get sacked a lot again. And I don't even know if their top running back, who like he's been hurt the last, or at least he got hurt last year. He was pretty much out the second game of the season. In the first game that he played, I think he had like six rushing yards against the Steelers and like 16 carries or something like that. So he really wasn't producing last year. Granted, it's the Steelers. You're playing against a tough team. The second game was against the Bears. He got hurt. So you're playing against two top defenses back to back, and he gets hurt, obviously. So I can't really put it all on Saquon. But, it's just like he just wasn't producing. At the same time, like I said, the offensive line is just it's just in shambles. Like it's got to be bottom, or at least close to the bottom ranking rated in the whole NFL. Saquon, if he stays healthy, he's one of the best explosive dynamic backs in football. He can catch, he can run, he's powerful, he can do everything. He's going to start the season. He's not really doing anything right now. I don't know if he's going to start the season week 1. I don't know when he's going to be back. I'm hoping he comes back early. Maybe he can start practicing soon with the team again. Start actually running and doing other drills. I've seen him really like doing solo stuff on his own, but and he's like his legs are just out of control. Like he's powerful. Like you see the explosion in his legs in these pictures. So I know that he can play. It's just and he wants to play. It's just going to be can he stay healthy again? Like it's just odd to me. Like this young kid is just struggling with health, and part of that is him. Part of that is his offensive line, and they're just going to have to figure it out. Like I said, the wide receivers and the tight ends, they have so many of them, and Daniel Jones has his pick of who to get the ball to this year. Like there's no excuses for him this year. If he can't produce this year, as far as I mean, granted his line is probably going to screw him over, but like he has so many guys he can throw the ball to, and There's no reason why his numbers shouldn't be higher than what they have been. This should be a career year for him. This team is only going to go as far as he goes, and if he's not going to go, if he's not putting in work or putting these numbers up, like this has to be his last year. I think he's playing for his job right now. So him and Judge, I think they're in one-on-one playing for their jobs this year. And I don't know what they could do. I would assume, I would hate to have to have this team look for another quarterback, but it seems like that's what's going to have to be, because I really don't have any faith in Daniel Jones. I really wasn't a fan of him coming out of college, and here we are again. Like, we're just back doing this again. The defense is okay. They still have some pieces. The defensive line. They lost Tomlinson, I believe. So he's not going to be easily replaced. They got Leonard Williams still. Lawrence is still there. They got the rookie. I don't want to mess his name up, from Georgia.
Yeah.
Azeez.
Yeah.
Ojulari.
Yeah, I'm just leave it at that. I think he could be really good. I don't know. Maybe he's going to play. He was a linebacker, but he can play edge rusher. He can play linebacker, so he should be an upgrade for that defense, to help them out at least. And I think they're going to have to really step up this year, because I don't know what they're going to get from Daniel Jones. Blake Martinez, he's a solid linebacker. I think he's really good. He should come in and step up and have some really good numbers this year. Ragland is there, another guy that I think that can step up for that team and help this linebacker core out. And the secondary, and this is another like red flag for me again. Just not really believing too much in their secondary, but they have some solid players in back there. So Eli Apple, Jenkins. Oh no, Jenkins is not there anymore.
Eli Apple's
Jenkins not there anymore. Bradbury's there. That's another guy, man. That Carolina they just don't want to keep these good players, man. And it's sad, because they go somewhere else and then they play really well. And he had, like, I think he was a top rated corner last year. And Jackson's there, so him and Jackson should be a really good combination. Yes, man, Bradbury. They still have Peppers, Jabril Peppers, Logan Ryan, McKinney's there, so they have an okay secondary. I think they need to gel again and come together. I would probably say that the defensive line is probably the star of the defense, but overall, I just don't have any faith in the Giants to do anything. I think it's pretty much Washington's and Dallas's division for grabs. I think probably leaning towards 6-11, but I might give them 7-10. Nope, I'm going 6-11. I'm sticking with 6-11 because I just don't believe in this team. So,
all right, cool. All right, Corey. New York Football Giants.
And when you start with the coach there, Joe Judge was kind of out of nowhere hire for them last year. He did an okay job, all things considered, injuries and everything. But I feel like the whole brawl thing is kind of a red flag, where like he didn't seem all that upset about it really. And the fact that he's off the Belichick coaching tree, and that coaching tree has done nothing in the NFL. So, when arguably the best person off the Belichick coaching tree is Bill O'Brien, who ran the Texans into the ground. I don't know why teams keep hiring from it, but we'll see if Judge can break the mold on that. But I'm with Craig. There's a decent chance he's coaching for his job this year, because being in a division as bad as the NFC East has been, there's a lot of pressure to win, because the bar should be kind of lower to be able to get to that playoff game, that whole playoff game. When it comes to offense, again, as Craig said, it's Daniel Jones. He has shown flashes, but I agree it's probably a make or break year for him. they're going to need to know after this year if whether or not they're going to want to pick up his 5th-year option on his rookie deal. So he's going to have to show that he can be the guy. You hope Saquon stays healthy because he is such a fun player to watch. But it's 2 years in a row now. He's had some injury issues, and to take a running back as high as you did, like you need that guy to be like Adrian Peterson and producing 1,200 yards a year every year. They have added some weapons to that offense. There's a Tony, Galladay, Rudolph. John Ross was a really low risk, high reward type signing. Because if he can do anything for you, that's great. The offensive line is just a massive question mark, and it could very well hold the offense and subsequently the whole team back. They had chances to upgrade. They didn't put as many resources in it as they really should have. And, fair or not, if the offensive line struggles and causes Daniel Jones to struggle, it's still going to fall on Daniel Jones. The defense could actually be pretty good this year. Locking up Leonard Williams was a big deal. They added Danny Shelton, also added Adoree Jackson. While Jackson did have his struggles with Tennessee at times, I don't know if that was just him or that was just, as a Colts fan, watching T.Y. Hilton kill him in Tennessee twice a year. That was just a T.Y. thing. So I did really like the Azeez Ojulari pick. He can get the edge. I think he might be a little small to be an every down guy as a rookie, but I think he'll be able to come in and make an impact for you on passing situations. The draft, they went 4 out of their 6 picks defensively. So at a bare minimum, I think the unit's going to be better than it was last year. And honestly, I would expect it to be the second best defense in this division. Overall, though, the Giants are one of those teams, much like Dallas, that I just think they had too many holes to be able to fill them all in one offseason. The biggest storyline with the media and everything is obviously going to be Daniel Jones. He's the starting quarterback in New York, so it's going to dominate the conversation. He's going to have a lot of pressure. And I said, with where the division is, there's going to be the expectation that they can compete to win it. I don't think they have the roster to do it. I think 7-10 would probably be a good season for them, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm with both of you. As far as a coach, Joe Judge, he is second year. I think he did a good job last year. He kept them competitive, and he almost won the division. Even with that 6-10 record in the weak division, he almost won it. It was competitive. This with Joe Judge, it's going to be interesting because if they don't compete for the playoffs, his seat might get warm, or he might get fired because I believe in giving a coach a little bit more time, but he's in New York, so I don't know if they're going to give him that luxury. Right? It's not like the Jets where you have a rookie quarterback and a rookie head coach. That's a little bit more leeway, but they're like, you need to fix this now. So I don't know. Offense, Daniel Jones. This is a make or break year. This is all the marbles on the table, man. He needs to make the big jump. It's his 3rd year starting. If not, the Giants could be drafting a quarterback next year. And I don't think anybody will be surprised. The running back position, Saquon Barkley, man, depends on his health. He's coming off a major knee injury, and he needs to bounce back this year. He needs to have a big year. I hope he does it. He's a dynamic back, man, and it's unfortunate that he can't stay healthy. And they picked him high. I think, was he 2nd overall pick? He was top 5. He was top 5.
Yeah, he was
you said what, Corey?
He was 2.
He was 2nd, yeah. The offensive line, The only person I think is Nate Solder. The rest is a makeshift line. The Giants didn't put any in it. Didn't invest any money in it, and which is funny because I feel like Gettleman did that. Maybe I'm mistaken, but I thought he built the lines in Carolina. I thought he was a line guy. Maybe he's taking a different approach. Evan Ingram, he was bad. And he was bad last year, man. And I think he's going to be bad again this year. I mean, I don't want to. I hope he can. He looks to play well, right? But it's a contract year, so he might be phenomenal. But I don't see it, man. The receiver core, just like you said, when I was looking it up, I forgot they drafted Tony because they're so deep, right? Like you have Kenny Galladay, Sterling Shepard, and Darius Slayton, and John Ross, and you added Tony, and it's just like you could add a tackle to help solidify the line for Daniel Jones. I think Kenny Galladay, Darius Slayton, and Sterling Shepard are okay. I think they can hold their own, but we'll see. They got 4 quality receivers. Unless they're running 4 receiver sets, which I doubt. And we gotta see if Daniel Jones can get them the ball. Flat out, bottom line, right? All right, now the defense is good though. I gotta give them that. Danny Shelton and Leonard Williams, they're great, and they got good depth as well. The linebacking core, you got Blake Martinez and Reggie Ragland. They're gonna anchor the middle. Those are 2 good linebackers. And then I do like their first round pick, Aziz. I think he's gonna. They said he's playing pretty good at camp so far. He's very athletic, stronger than people think he is. And the secondary, I mean, you got Adoree Jackson, who's playing probably the secondary receiver, and then you have James Bradbury, who comes back, who's playing really phenomenal last year. And then you have Jabril Peppers, who lines up everywhere, and then Logan Ryan. That's a pretty good. I think their defense is going to hold them down. Now, they have a chance to be really good. But the problem is the offense, right? The offensive line. So this might be an example of a really good defense, and because the offense is so bad, they're still on the field so long, and the numbers aren't going to do them justice. All right, so my overall prediction. Once again, it depends on Daniel Jones, and the health of Saquon Barkley. Those are the 2 major factors, man. And the offensive line is shaky at best. And if you have a bad offensive line, you can't run the ball. So they're not going to protect Daniel Jones with a bad offensive line, and Saquon's coming off a major injury with a bad offensive line. So it sounds like a crapshoot. So it's just going to lead to a lot of problems. All right. Can you imagine that they miss a blocking assignment? Saquon gets tackled in the backfield. Like it's not good, right? That's not good. Once again, like I said before, the defense is going to hold up. It's the offense that's shaky, and it's going to be a very long season for the New York Football Giants. I do have them going 7-10, but yeah, that's not good though. They're going to be drafting. They might go